Welcome to the Town of Fountain Hills State of the Town, presented by Mayor Ginny Dickey and sponsored by our friends at Salt River Project. I hope you've all had an opportunity to enjoy the delicious breakfast from our local restaurant, Mountain View Kitchen, and thank you, Jennifer Ward. It's always important to support the local. Before we begin, I want to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you wouldn't mind standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. All right, bear with me. We have a long list of elected officials and dignitaries who have joined us this morning, so I'm just going to get started. And there's no need to stand. I just want you all to be aware of these people are spending their mornings with us. Mayor John Giles of Mesa, Chandler Mayor Kevin Hartke, Mayor David Ortega of Scottsdale, Mayor Bridget Peterson of Gilbert. We also have former Mayor Linda Kavanaugh, though I have not seen her yet, but I'm going to say it anyway. We have Chairman of EPCOR, Glenn Williamson is here. John Lewis, President of the East Valley Partnership and former Mayor of Gilbert. Vice Mayor Matt Orlando of Chandler. We also have former Town Council Member Ambassador Enrique Melendez, former Town Council Member Art Tolis, former Council Member and now State Senator John Kavanaugh. Haven't seen him yet, but he's always here in spirit. And the Town Council of Fountain Hills, of course, Vice Mayor Peggy McMahon, Council Member Jerry Friedel, Council Member Sharon Grzybowski, Council Member Brenda Kalivianakis, Council Member Alan Skillicorn, and Council Member Hannah Toth. We also have some members of our outstanding commissions and advisory groups here today. These groups include the Citizen Street Committee, Board of Adjustment, Community Services Advisory Board, McDowell Mountain Preservation, Municipal Property Corporation, Planning and Zoning, Sister Cities Advisory, I'm going to take a breath here, Strategic Planning Advisory, Historic and Cultural Advisory Commission. I'd also like to welcome and thank Town of Fountain Hills Town Manager Grady Miller, who's here today. Fountain Hills Municipal Court Judge Robert Melton, Fountain Hills Sanitary District Superintendent Dana Tromke, Tammy Bell of the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce, and Suzanne Brown of Scottsdale Realtors Group. So now, I'm done with that list. We're grateful for our partnership with Salt River Project and their support to today's state of the town. Delivering reliable and affordable water and power since 1903, Salt River Project, or SRP, is a community-based, not-for-profit organization providing affordable water and power to more than 2 million people in central Arizona. Patricia DeRoss has been a senior government relations representative for Salt River Project for nearly 17 years. She serves on multiple chambers of commerce, public policy committees across the 8 municipalities she covers. She was born and raised in Scottsdale, and prior to SRP, she worked at Quest in a similar role, and you may know her from this role as well, as an Emmy-winning reporter and weather anchor for both KPHO TV 5 and WJBK TV in Detroit. Please welcome Patricia DeRoss.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, TV, you have to wake up early like this, and that didn't really suit me so well. But it's great to be here this morning, and I'm very pleased to be able to introduce to you Mayor Ginny Dickey. Mayor Dickey has been a Fountain Hills resident since 1983, and while she was born and raised in New York, she and her siblings followed her parents out here after they had fallen in love with this community in the 70s. The foundation that their parents built now spans multiple generations here in Arizona. Jenny holds a BS in mathematics from Tufts University and worked as a banker, a bookkeeper, Arizona Senate staffer, and assistant director of the Department of Environmental Quality. After retiring, she worked with the U.S. Attorney's Office as a neighborhood liaison with various partners, including law enforcement. In 2010, she was inducted into the Lower Verde River Valley Hall of Fame, and just last year, the Arizona Historical Society Centennial Project named her one of the 48 most intriguing women of the decade. Mayor Dickey began her career in public service as a PTA mom. This led to serving 2 terms as a member of the Fountain Hills Unified School District Board, and then she turned her sights to the town council, where she served over 8 years. She then ran for mayor in 2018 and was re-elected mayor in 2020 and 2022. In her capacity as mayor, she sits on the MAG Regional Committee, the GPEC Mayors and Supervisors Group, and serves on the Public Safety and Fountain Hills Cares subcommittees, to name just a few. Ginny is married to Jim Dickey, a retired ADOT executive. Their blended family includes 4 sons and a daughter, and their spouses and 9 grandchildren. Please help me welcome Mayor Jenny Dickey.
Thank you all for coming so much. We kind of got a break with the weather, didn't we? So I'm very happy to see you all here. Let's see if I can get this to work. Whoops. A little hard time. There we go. So, thank you for attending the 2023 State of the Town of Fountain Hills this morning. I'm so happy to see that local and regional officials were able to join us today and to share our 2022 story and our goals for the future. We appreciate, of course, our sponsor, SRP, Salt River Project, who provides power and customer service to our homes, our new developments, and our businesses. Linda Brady has been our gracious host in the past, and so we're so pleased now to welcome Patricia DeRoss and thank them both. Mountain View Kitchen supplies this delicious breakfast for our guests. Thank you to them and the community services staff, as they once again created an attractive and hospitable space for yet another activity. As has been my tradition, I will convey a mayor's perspective of 2022. Then we'll look forward to watching the video that was put together and the efforts of and the accomplishments under the leadership of our manager, Grady Miller, and our department directors, law enforcement and fire, and we'll wrap up with a look to the future. As I enter my 5th year as mayor, and time does fly as you age, I am honored to be part of this lovely community and be in public service. I was on a panel for United Way once and was asked, what happened that made you decide to run for office? I had a math degree. It wasn't really related to that. I explained that when we had moved to Fountain Hills in 1983, that even before my oldest son was in kindergarten, I did find myself on that PTA board. That led to more in-school involvement and eventually president of the school board. In the meantime, I had been starting to get engaged in more municipal issues, starting in 1984, when we attended the first of several they were called town halls, strategic planning sessions with my mother and other members of my family. And statewide later, as mentioned, I worked at the state senate and for DEQ. I ran for council and mayor after a natural progression of volunteerism and experiences. The moderator of that United Way event put it really well. So she said nothing happened then. It was more of an evolution than a moment, a journey which continues for many of us, a commitment to the town for the right reasons. We want to help. Similarly, your government as a whole remains prepared to ensure that residents and businesses have a voice, that your elected leaders communicate effectively, that committees and commissions provide important input, that volunteers remain a crucial part of town efforts, and that staff is responsive to requests and concerns while innovating ways to expand and improve. The town of Fountain Hills is a scenic desert community of approximately 25,000 residents, occupying more than 20 square miles, bordered by voter-approved preserved land on our west, state trust land at McDowell Mountain Park to the north, and the tribal communities to our east and our south. The town's signature feature is a 560-foot high fountain that operates on a daily schedule year-round, surrounded by a 29-acre lake within a 64-acre park, which includes an 18-hole championship disc golf course, a splash park, playgrounds, and nearly 40 pieces of our remarkable community-wide public art collection. Thank you, Jackie, for that. Half of the town is zoned residential, and nearly a quarter is designated open space. We have a roadway network of more than 162 miles, a nationally recognized award-winning park system, highly rated schools, plus nonprofits, service, and faith-based organizations that continue to engage and thrive. The Times and the Chamber and all the utilities are among our valued partners throughout the year. In our hometown, we boast one of the safest zip codes in the county. Thank you, Captain. We have more than 3,200 business licenses, and 2,200 of them are within our boundaries, and our home values are high. So, Fountain Hills at this time is dynamic, exciting, alive, and fresh. You put all those qualities together and you can end up with the word vibrant. The state of the town is vibrant. From glorious sunrise to colorful sunsets and in between, the state of the town is vibrant. From the bustling community center during lunch and munch to dancing at the park for Music Fest, Fountain Hills is vibrant. From strolling in the glow to tapping the keg at Oktoberfest, the state of the town is vibrant. And from the shimmering gold-rimmed mountains to a shiny gold medal for our parks, our community is vibrant. This time last year, I addressed several key efforts in achieving our state of the town of rising above, the phrase which was taken from a title of a book written by Gene Linzer and late pioneers Alan Cruikshank and Jerry Miles. I stressed the importance of working together to achieve several goals throughout 2022, from planning, ordinances, facilities, events and activities, to transportation, parks, growth, advocacy, economic vitality, and leadership. No doubt, the town's plate was full. And in order to meet those expectations, we undertook many initiatives, some of which will continue into 2023 and beyond. 2022 included milestones reached and new goals set. Expectations were reimagined, change surrounded us daily. But with the policy direction of the town's elected leaders, staff worked with residents, businesses, governmental partners, and our regional neighbors to provide reasonable responses to a myriad of issues. I want to publicly thank continuing council members Jerry Friedel, Sharon Grzybowski, and Vice Mayor Peggy McMahon, and former members Alan Magazine, Mike Charnow, and David Spellich for their hard work and dedication. Despite of, or maybe because of, our diverse backgrounds and experiences, we were able to accomplish much for the community. There may have been some projects or outcomes that some wish had come out differently, but there was no pattern and no grand agenda. Only reasoned facts, dare I say compromise, for the benefit of most. We owe our citizens the same going forward. As we enter calendar year 2023, I believe our town can be vibrant and lively, even as we address significant issues with maturity and professionalism. Fountain Hills has passed its 50th birthday, where more than half of the master plan basic infrastructure, fountain, streets, some utilities, pumps, culverts, and washes adjacent to homes and businesses may need to be repaired, updated, or replaced. As a municipal government, we're over 30 years old, where 8 mayors and countless council persons, committee members, and staff have endeavored to build a community based upon common goals. Knowing that history, we must further identify and implement plans that address meeting these opportunities and challenges. First, here are some of these milestones and efforts identified during the 2022 State of the Town that council, staff, and with your help, successfully addressed. Planning. The town updated the strategic plan. Thank you to the commissioners, we have some here, who utilized input from the community survey and added an environmental component to our other priorities, including economic development, financial stability, safety, and high quality of life. We completed a comprehensive law enforcement audit, a fire services assessment to bring the department in-house, and a facilities reserve study, to name a few, helping us make fiscally sound decisions and proactively address short and long-term service impacts. The Parks Plan opened up the door to grants and other opportunities, no doubt helping us achieve that coveted gold medal status. Our fountain is vibrant in its own right, refurbished from the inside out, illuminated for various causes and celebrations, generating many smiles around town. Next, I'll talk about ordinances. 2021 proved that the town must address its ordinances proactively in an ever-changing environment. As a result, in 2022, the council passed fee waiver policies, made zoning refinements to short-term rentals and group homes that were allowed by state and federal statutes. In addition, council changed some zoning to encourage mixed use, tackling the residential commercial property imbalance that we have found. As an added benefit, the town streamlined the building review, permitting, and inspection processes and improved code enforcement. It's vital that we comply with laws, even when they sometimes conflict with each other, and always act in good faith to do what we can to avoid putting our tax dollars at risk with resource-sapping legal entanglements. I have to get a little drink here. Next is transportation. So during the last 2.5 years, we treated by mill and overlay, filling or sealing almost 130 lane miles of pavement. Plus, we had 70 tons of material that we used for potholes. Part of the annual budget process, the council committed to the Streets Fund $10.4 million. We anticipate a comprehensive list of street improvement options to be recommended by the citizen-led committee that was assembled in 2022. Meanwhile, we continue to seek advice from the Traffic and Pedestrian Safety Committee to manage speeding, crosswalks, turn lane improvements, and a strong enforcement strategy. Fountain Hills submitted local projects for the renewal of the Proposition 400 transportation tax extension, with 3 making the cut. We now wait to see if the bipartisan yet vetoed bill granting permission to ask Maricopa County voters their opinion, we wait to see if that will be revived so our projects can move forward. Events and activities. The town returned to its lively engagement for community events and activities with our partners. 2 chamber fountain festivals, park events like St. Patrick's Day, the Greening of the Fountain, and Oktoberfest, ballet and movies, plus holiday celebrations including Halloween at Four Peaks Park, the rerouted Thanksgiving Parade and Turkey Trot, Stroll in the Glow, and so much more. The homecoming parade resumed at the high school, and music fests and concerts on the median contribute to that desired downtown vibe, a goal which is supported with the formation of the Avenue Merchants Association. An outcome of the 50th anniversary of the fountain is the new Historic and Cultural Advisory Commission to provide direction related to the recognition and preservation of our town's history, documents, photos, and memories. Next, growth and economic development. From a policy perspective, economic development can be defined as efforts that seek to improve the economic well-being and quality of life for a community, including roads, parks, houses, educational programs, job creation, and retention. This requires identifying the right environment to encourage economic growth, and our economic development director has been highly effective. With an emphasis on infrastructure, keeping neighborhoods safe and attractive, offering amenities, and protecting that quality of life as mentioned, much has happened. We just held an economic summit with stakeholders and are going through a branding process to spur a vibrant, consistent identity. A settlement agreement opened the door to the finalization of Park Place, adjacent to Avenue of the Fountains, along with several other new businesses and residential improvements supporting, again, that downtown environment. In addition, Target Center and other locations are enjoying upgrades, expansions, and new restaurants and businesses which are open or soon will be. Toll Brothers Adero Canyon development continues. We saw over 200 new housing units added, including the largest of the projects just west of downtown, the Havenly. Smaller multi-family projects were also completed, along with single-family infill builds. Town staff works regularly with residents, the chamber, and other business operators, realtors, the Greater Phoenix Economic Council, East Valley Partnership, Canadian-Arizona Business Council, tribal communities, and others to get the message out that we are open and welcoming. A key to strong support for vibrant business activity here is increasing our full-time population. Support of all levels of education, continuing attention to housing inventory, preserving our hometown charm and our scenic desert vistas, our outdoor trails and amazing parks, Activities and amenities will help attract more residents and keep a good balance with our seasonal visitors, yet maintaining thoughtful development. Our role is to be positive and collaborative while ensuring proper attention to public safety, protecting our shared assets, and of course, our way of life. This is from the National League of Cities. When local elected leaders make commitments, you mobilize your municipal government, but also galvanize the other sectors that matter in the community. Uniting this whole ecosystem behind a shared vision for success is the key to creating a place where new businesses can thrive. Next, I'll talk a little about advocacy. We participated in regional collaborations with GPEC, as mentioned, Maricopa Association of Governments, the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, again, East Valley Partnership, Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, and the League of Arizona Cities and Towns. They all support Fountain Hill's goals and interests in transportation, economic vitality, events, and tourism. We implemented a council-approved legislative agenda for the 2022 session, aiming to preserve neighborhoods, revenue sources, and local control, local decision-making. Some of the town's intergovernmental agreements and contracts were reviewed, and in cooperation, one of them was the Sanitary District's Safe Workspace Project, where a new Mount Rushmore gathering area will be created along Saguaro Boulevard. Next is communication, Bo. The town implemented new budget software to improve the process and make it clear and available to the public, along with added tools such as our agenda creation program and website improvements, broad social media presence, and of course, having our community relations director as our public information officer. We continue to strive for better ways to inform. Community programs and vitality. As part of the Fountain Hills Care Series, the town focused on the health and wellness of the community. We had forums on Alzheimer's and dementia, caregivers, and veterans programs. The International Dark Sky Discovery Center took major steps, along with the Fountain Hills Community Garden, to build a local, regional, state, national, even international exhibit, a wonderful center for education, interactive science exhibits, classrooms, and astro-tourism. Talk a little bit more about that later. Finally, we talk about leadership. We value qualified, committed community leaders who selflessly help guide us into the future. The Leadership Academy graduated its 6th class. New appointments were made to commissions and committees, and the Mayor's Youth Council was more active than ever. These are just a few examples of outreach to help motivate residents to get involved in town government, volunteer, and join in one of the multitude of service organizations available in town. So many of our 2022 efforts were successfully completed, but some areas are still in progress. Infrastructure funding is a big one, so we remain in a deficit position for the long-term repair of our streets. It'll be the responsibility of this council to agree upon a strategy and identify a funding plan that will catch us up, allowing us to enter a sustaining mode. 8 years ago, Saguaro Boulevard was completely reconstructed. We did our first maintenance of those 5 miles of pavement with crack filling and sealing last October. This type of follow-up needs to be regularly scheduled for new streets in order to remain at an acceptable standard. We've not been able to keep up despite more than doubling our annual funding recently. Park Place, this project now back underway includes some upgrades to the first phase of the project, and it will help continue and complete that downtown strategy. Community center renovation. The 2022 remodel of the community center identified significant issues that will require additional investment. The council will prioritize those improvements from a financial and a timing perspective. Our skies. Although we think immediately of dark skies and dramatic sunsets, we like quiet skies too. There have been recurring and some new issues affecting ours and our neighbors, Fort McDowell's quality of life regarding flight paths. This takes cooperation and relationships with regional and federal partners and the airports, with attention and monitoring on our part. This may not be as effective next year without our Fountain Hills Government Relations representative, but we'll do our best. Pedestrian and vehicular safety. The town's emphasis on providing a safe environment for everyone, whether walking and exercising, riding a bike, or driving, will continue. The comprehensive sidewalk system, bolstered by a $2 million grant secured by our staff through regional connections, improved pedestrian access and crossings, neighborhood patrols, and rigorous enforcement of the rules of the road are going to remain a priority. So speaking of priorities, let's find out straight from staff their summary of departmental and public safety achievements and goals on the video.
The town of Fountain Hills entered 2022 with uncertainty of what to expect following the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we were excited to accomplish our goals and meet the community's expectations. I'm proud to say that despite its small size and limited staffing, the town of Fountain Hills delivered on the services and capital projects our residents and business customers appreciate and have grown to expect. It is an honor to work with such a talented and professional staff who made the best of uncertainty and achieved many outstanding outcomes. Here are the highlights of the initiatives and projects accomplished by the town of Fountain Hills in 2022.
The Community Services Department oversees and works collaboratively with many community organizations by maintaining and providing services with town parks, trails, community center, recreation, public arts programs, volunteers, special events, home-delivered meals, and so much more.
Connections and relationships are what we're all about here in Fountain Hills. By actively engaging our residents, creating inclusive, accessible spaces, and
Last September, the rest of the country had the opportunity to learn about the efforts our Community Services Department puts forth to meet resident expectations when the department was awarded the prestigious Grand Plaque, the 2022 National Gold Medal Awards for Excellence in Park and Recreation Management at the National Recreation and Park Association Annual Conference. This small but mighty department had many accomplishments in 2022. One was the opening of the new Rotary Splash Pad in Fountain Park. The splash pad replaced the original, which was constructed in 2007 and was a hit with youth and adults alike. The Rotary Splash Pad has an expanded footprint for additional play structures to accommodate the large volume of youth visiting the park. Fountain Park also offered residents a new playground for ages 5 to 12. The structure became an instant hit when it opened in February. One of the new features includes a 30-foot climbing tower, which may be the first of its kind in the United States. As part of a multi-year renovation at Four Peaks Park, a game area was added, providing permanent ping pong tables, picnic tables, and cornhole games for users of the park. The gaming area is covered, providing year-round shade. Golden Eagle Park saw a significant increase in ball field usage in 2022 following the pandemic. Park staff worked hard to remove invasive grasses, and the work paid off. The attending teams have complimented the quality of the fields, which has helped increase the number of tournaments held in Fountain Hills. Another upgrade to the park, which benefited all users, was the remodeled restrooms. Desert Vista Park turf renovation and leveling continued in 2022. Park staff distributed 400 tons of top dressing material across the entire soccer field area. The ramadas at Desert Vista needed critical repair, and this project was completed in 2022, as well as the completion of a new section of sidewalk to complete the walking loop. The skate park at Desert Vista had, for the first time since it opened, lighting installed so skaters can use the facility after dark in the summer when temperatures are not as hot. The town realized the 25% cost savings with the lighting project thanks to a partnership with Musco Lighting. The Home Delivered Meals program provides nutritional meals for individuals of all ages who require meal assistance. This program assists residents recovering from illness or surgery and allows homebound individuals to reside longer in the comfort of their homes. In Fountain Hills, volunteers make a difference in someone's life every day. The Make a Difference Day brings out volunteers united in a shared mission to improve the lives of others. This past October, more than 400 community volunteers pulled weeds, shoveled, raked, and carried debris, helping Fountain Hills residents in need of assistance. Mayor's Youth Council continually impresses with programs and activities for local teens. The Community Center Takeover event is an activity where Fountain Hills teens spend an evening at the Community Center and play games, sing karaoke, dance, and have fun. The Community Center had a busy year since its remodeling in 2021. The center launched 2 new fun events for its members, the Autumn Harvest Party and Country Dance. There were 6 new evening programs started, including 1 new support group and a very active table tennis club. These new programs make the total now for the community 43, as well as 8 support programs. Overall, there were 1,173 memberships for the Community Center. This past Christmas, the Community Center and Kiwanis partnered to put on Breakfast with Santa and a new event for children and adults with different abilities, Sensitive Santa.
The Fountain Hills Community Center is the perfect place for us, and we chose the Fountain Hills Community Center.
To help
because
raise
one,
awareness of the beautiful facility and the conference center rooms available for events and meetings, the Community Center partnered with the Economic Development team to produce a marketing video to attract future clients. With so much activity at the Community Center and the demand for services, the Community Services Department launched a new online portal. The new system streamlined the process for reserving facilities such as park ramadas and registration for classes and programs. Special events are always a big attraction in Fountain Hills. Not only do residents come out to experience the fun, but also people from around the region. A new event this past year was the Fountain Hills Skateboard Classic. This event featured 31 enthusiastic skaters participating in 2 different age groups. Nearly 250 spectators watched the gnarly stunts. Spooky Blast, in only its 2nd year, attracted more than 3,000 people dressed in their ghoulish finest. Community services staff use their creativity and hard work to make Fountain Hills fun. The Development Services Department provides various functions to ensure that the town grows smartly and safely. The divisions within the department include building safety, planning and zoning, code compliance, mapping, and graphics. In the planning division, the department continued to review and propose updates to ordinances to address the town's needs. This year, the department completed several projects to address group homes, now called community residences, and to update the procedures for reviewing and approving special use permits. The Planning Division processed special use permits and site plans for several new projects in town, including mixed-use projects at Ivory and Pueblo and Kingstree and Saguaro. The Building Safety Division processed over 950 permit requests in 2022. Construction activity throughout the town has remained strong. Inspectors conducted almost 4,000 inspections of construction projects, and new single-family construction led the list of permit applications with 130 applications. Close behind were addition and remodels, solar panel, and pool spa permit applications. The town has now had a full year of using the new TOPS online permitting software. The process has helped streamline the process, allowing the staff to keep up with the heavy workload. A number of businesses in our key industries, financial, healthcare, housing, restaurant, and retail, made the decision to invest in Fountain Hills. Some of those businesses include Atticus Books and Music, Honor Health Primary and Urgent Care, Manny's at Park Place, Mathnasium, TDC Financial, and Vita's Vegan, to name just a few. During 2022, the town received 162 storefront business licenses and 61 home-based business licenses. This is a slight increase over 2021. To continue to attract and retain our local businesses, the town and the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce partnered together to launch a business retention and expansion program in June 2022. The BR&E program assists in analyzing our local economy and aid existing job creators as they hire more employees, add locations, invest in facilities, and continue to give back to the community. This partnership will foster relationships and maintain open lines of communication with businesses.
Day and night, the town of Fountain Hills offers many attractions.
Thanks to our regional partners, Arizona Office of Tourism, Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, and the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, the town was awarded over $300,000 in grant funding. The town is grateful for the grant funding and is already in the process of implementing tourism marketing strategies to continue to promote Fountain Hills. The Town of Fountain Hills Finance Department follows the principles of sound financial management through a framework for overall fiscal planning and management. By following these principles, the town's financial health is enhanced, as well as its image and credibility with its citizens, the public in general, bond rating agencies, and investors. Each year, the town develops and adopts a balanced budget based on priorities identified by citizens, council members, and town staff. This process represents numerous hours of work and dedication. The result of this hard work can be seen when comparing the budgeted and actual amounts for the town's operating revenues and expenditures. The town relies heavily on transaction privilege tax to fund operations, and this revenue can be difficult to estimate since it's dependent on sales of products and services within the town. Because of this, the town takes a conservative approach to revenue budgeting in order to ensure adequate financial resources to cover budgeted expenditures. In 2022, the town received federal funds through the American Rescue Plan for financial support during the pandemic. Town Council allocated these funds to pay for the town's contracted public safety fees, which in turn allowed additional savings in the general fund. Council has directed those savings to go to pavement maintenance. Despite pressures from global inflation and supply shortages that continue to impact goods and services, the town collected more revenue in the operating funds than was budgeted. In addition, the town's operating expenditures were less than the amount budgeted. The resulting difference between actual revenues and actual expenditures was transferred to the Capital Improvement Fund at the end of the fiscal year. The town's finance division continues to add to its long list of awards for financial planning and reporting. The 27th consecutive Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for its annual Comprehensive Financial Report, 21st consecutive Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, and 11th consecutive Popular Annual Financial Reporting Award. The Town of Fountain Hills continues to utilize the services provided by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office as its contracted law enforcement provider. The men and women of MCSO who serve Fountain Hills are committed to ensuring public safety through traffic enforcement, community outreach efforts, visibility, crime prevention, and deterrence. Thanks to their diligence, the Town of Fountain Hills has some of the lowest crime rates in the state of Arizona, making Fountain Hills one of the safest communities in the entire state. In 2022, one of the goals of MCSO was to help ensure the safety of motorists, bicyclists, and walkers in town through traffic enforcement. Deputies conducted nearly 3,200 traffic stops and issued approximately 1,300 citations to drivers who committed violations. MCSO deputies and command personnel demonstrated their department's mission of increased visibility and public engagement through participation in activities such as taking part in Make a Difference Day, Coffee with a Cop, the Fountain Hills Leadership Academy, the DEA Drug Take-Back Initiative, partnering with the Fountain Hills Drug Coalition meetings, and guest speaking at local community groups and activities, just to name a few. MCSO continues to work with the town's Traffic and Pedestrian Safety Committee to help develop additional strategies to keep town residents and visitors safe and increase awareness. The Town of Fountain Hills Fire Department is made up of a dynamic body of men and women who work to ensure the safety of Fountain Hills residents. The town is currently contracted with Rural Metro to provide fire and emergency services. While the town owns the equipment and fire stations, Rural Metro manages the operations. In 2022, the council approved a plan to bring fire safety completely in-house. Rural Metro will continue to provide operational management over the next 12 to 18 months as the town develops a transition plan. In 2022, the department was able to acquire new equipment that provides additional service to the community as well as protect firefighters. The unit purchased a Polaris Ranger, which will be used in trail rescues as well as during special events to respond more quickly as needed. And to help protect firefighter health and safety, the department purchased a new dryer for personal protective equipment to properly dry their fighting gear. The Town of Fountain Hills Public Works Department takes pride in maintaining necessary infrastructure with limited financial resources. Always on call, the department oversees roads, town-owned washes, open spaces, and town facilities to ensure they are secure and safe for residents and visitors. The department consists of divisions that maintain, design, and oversee the creation of the town's infrastructure. These divisions include streets, engineering, sidewalks, right-of-ways, and facilities. Fountain Hills is proud of all those who served in our armed forces, and especially for the men and women who were injured or killed protecting our freedoms. In February, the town designated 8 parking spaces in recognition of Purple Heart recipients. The spaces are painted purple with a Purple Heart insignia, as well as signs showing that the spaces are reserved. In November, the town held a ceremony to add the Purple Heart emblem to the Community Service Monument sign, located at Fountain Hills Boulevard and Shea. The Highway Users Revenue Fund pays for streets personnel and contract work for street repairs. With only $2 million per year received from these HERF funds, the road resurfacing of streets in Fountain Hills is a never-ending project for Public Works. Following the recommendations of the 10-year pavement management analysis the town adopted in 2018, roadways were prioritized for needing the most attention for repair. The Citizens Ad Hoc Streets Committee continued their important study of the current condition of our town streets. The goal of these engaged residents is to offer input and guidance in how the town can manage its streets and pavement repairs for the next 20 years. In this new year, the committee will provide their recommendations to the town council. With the improvements and upgrades of Four Peaks Park, more residents are using the facilities, which means more parking was needed. The existing east parking lot was milled and overlaid with new asphalt, and the pavement area was expanded. The west parking lot was regraded and paved to improve drainage, and a new sidewalk connection was completed to the tennis courts. Safety for those walking on the Adero Canyon Trail was improved with the installation of culverts to capture and divert stormwater. These pipes will reduce the amount of water flowing along the walking path. To improve access to the Town Hall campus from El Lago Boulevard east of La Montana Boulevard, the existing driveway was realigned. This project added new sidewalk, curb, and gutter near the community garden. The town started work on Phase 2 of the Panorama Storm Drain south of El Lago Boulevard and Panorama Drive. The project will move stormwater to an existing wash, remove the ponding water which attracted mosquitoes, as well as collect spring water for pumping back into Fountain Lake. Wash maintenance is an ongoing responsibility for the department. Several washes were reshaped, widened, and fortified in residential areas to improve drainage capacity and flow, as well as to help reduce the risk of flooding to neighborhood residences. The Public Works Department provides environmental program oversight and compliance. Some of these important activities include stormwater and air quality programs. In addition, the department helps coordinate recycling programs with community partners. The Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off Program and the Electronic Recycling Day, in partnership with Republic Services, and the Friends of the Library Document Shredding Day, are all annual activities expected and appreciated by residents. Though the town of Fountain Hills does not provide direct water, sewer, power, and trash collection services, the town works closely with partners to offer these utilities. By using these top-notch companies to deliver utility services, residents are assured of the best service without paying additional taxes or fees to the town for equipment maintenance and upgrades. The Town of Fountain Hills Insider quarterly newsletter, website, and social media platforms are a trusted resource for all the information on programs and services provided by town departments. Follow the town on any of these social media sites or go to www.fountainhillsaz.gov to find what you're looking for.
Fountain Hills, Arizona. We're a home. We're a community. We are a destination. We are a town like no other. Fountain Hills has all the benefits of living near a large city, yet we take pride in our small town identity. We are surrounded by beautiful scenery, have outstanding schools, incredible community events, various outdoor activities, and our amazing dark skies. We are Fountain Hills, a town like no other.
Well, that was something. Every year I am in awe of what our staff can accomplish. You are all leaders who inspire us to do our best. We get a lot of help from our citizens who have been motivated to be part of this special united community, following your example. Thank you so much to all of you for all of your help. So, where does this lead us for 2023? Allow me to highlight some of our goals and where some challenges may remain, and I'll hope that you consider them with me. I'm committed to working with our new council members, Brenda Calvinakis, Alan Skillicorn, and Hannah Toth, to achieve shared positive outcomes for all, as I always have. The optimistic vision many of us held for Fountain Hills has largely come to fruition and remains intact for a vibrant future. I'll start with a complete and thriving downtown, with landscaped meandering sidewalks lined with artwork and fountains, exciting live events and activities, plus the Park Place reboot in the mix. The picture of a complete downtown district is now in view. Pedestrian and vehicular solutions to connect the avenue and the surrounding areas to our signature Fountain Park must be addressed. The new Merchants Association and all stakeholders should join in this effort and make this happen. Next, continued guidance using the general plan and the strategic plan. We must be aware of our voter-approved general plan and utilize our council-approved updated strategic plan as the method of prioritizing our projects and our proposals. Being familiar with those components and how they interact is the responsibility of council in helping its actions. Along the same lines, we should continue to use our departmental plans to drive local decision-making. Management of streets, parks, facilities, transportation, finances, public safety, and protection of our natural and irreplaceable desert surroundings doesn't happen by accident. And council provides the tools and incentives and the support mechanisms necessary to retain that quality staffing level that will serve our community so well. Next, ensuring financial security. The town implements conservative and long-term budgeting for financial security to support its needs. From fire and police, staffing and asset protection to growth management, council will identify and support policies that are fiscally sound. We must be unified in protecting state shared revenue and local control of tax and all of our policies. Emphasizing safety. Council prioritizes safety first and foremost. Ensuring that we have dependable fire and police protection is a requirement. Our reputation depends upon it. Residents must be confident that the best services, personalized for our neighborhoods, our businesses, our parks and trails, are being provided without interruption and cost effectively. Strategically addressing economic development and tourism. Strong economic development allows us to meet our needs as thriving businesses and visitors support the town's finances, which in turn support the overall quality of life. I'm confident that the Fountain Hills Economic Development Department's activities, such as the recent summit, the branding refresh, and balancing retail, industrial, and office space vacancies are leading us in the right direction. Investing in the community, that's all of us. Complementing council efforts, residents and businesses should be willing to help address community growth and change with strategic investments. As mentioned earlier, much of our underground infrastructure is 50 years old, and much of our vertical infrastructure more than 30 years old. And the lake liner is getting up there too at 23. This requires an added investment to assure viability and appearance. And now, as we anticipate the roads assessment from the Citizen Committee may require additional funding, we will discuss again that Fountain Hills has no property tax, very healthy transaction privilege taxes, as we saw, and no debt. Development fees can go just so far to provide the parks, streets, and public safety needs that come with more population, which is a generally shared goal. As we talk about attracting residents, education and housing are important topics. I meet regularly with the district superintendent, and real estate professionals advise on inventory, affordability, mixed use, and other trends. Active strategic representation and partnerships. Council must continue to coordinate with others at all levels, ensuring that Fountain Hills is part of a regional, state, and national environment, including maintaining strong ties with municipalities, our tribal governments, the Fountain Hills School District, the Fountain Hills Sanitary District, and our utilities. Whether cultivating international relationships through sister cities or our honorary consuls, or working next door with our neighbors on water issues, we garner influence and respect by recognizing the value of collaboration. I said I would mention this again, supporting the International Dark Sky Discovery Center. Development of the IDSDC can have incredible long-term benefits for our community. The success of this project relies on this type of collaboration noted earlier. Investing in technology. Being able to keep pace with changes in technology that not only can facilitate transparent communications, but they provide the tools to make processes easier, and it is an ongoing endeavor. Good government is more than having social media platforms, but we are expanding that. We have expanded that presence, and that does help inform. We know that the Times newspaper was cited in our survey as the #1 source of all things Fountain Hills, but we will continue to improve our website to be clear and searchable and be the go-to for town-related stuff. That is, again, a full plate of responsibility for the council, staff, and for all of you. 2023 stacks up as an important year for our town's future. We're part of the Sun Corridor. We're one of 11 megalopolis areas in the United States. We're adjacent to great native cultures. We're part of a region that includes the 5th largest city in the nation. We have world-class transportation, sports, arts, and cultural venues within our very reach. We still have growth potential with the state trust land and robust infill. We must be aware of these opportunities as we work within our community and beyond. In conclusion, allow me to summarize 4 focus areas for 2023 that will add to the high quality of life in this vibrant community. Number 1, streets. We will get needed information leading to a long-term strategy to maintaining an acceptable standards for our roads. Number 2, downtown build-out, including access and walkability, Wi-Fi, maybe a sound system, and pet relief stations, and maybe stations for people too. We're going to talk about that. Implement a fireproof transition plan to create true municipal fire services and complete negotiations with MCSO for a customized and flexible agreement focusing on Fountain Hills priorities. And 4, continued forward-thinking community and economic development by actively supporting the International Dark Sky Discovery Center, Canadian and business partnerships, the Target Center redevelopment, Fountain Hills Medical Center, and all the other projects in the queue. Further addressing housing needs, preserving our views, and protecting neighborhood integrity through locally controlled zoning for short-term rentals, for group homes, signage, cell towers, condo termination, plus keeping on top of homelessness mitigation and water issues is important. A more multi-generational community remains a goal, and excellence in education is a cornerstone of the town's reputation and our ability to attract families. So yes, that's a lot. How do we go forward together, united in purpose? When I started writing the state of the town, I look at the previous descriptors. Together in 2019, a hopeful sentiment for the new mayor and council. Engaged in 2020. If I hadn't known it already, I sure learned how important it is for the community to have public participation. Moving forward in 2021 as we started to emerge from the pandemic. And rising above in 2022, unbelievably coming out so strong on all fronts, plus a nice respectful nod to history of our community. I had thought for 2023, vibrant was very fitting, very ever-present, dynamic, dramatic, colorful skies and mountains, the uptick in development, housing, and businesses, the enthusiastic participation in activities and events, and even all the rain this year, bringing the desert to life, was a fitting metaphor, naturally vibrant. I have had, though, a bit of a hard time over the past few weeks getting stuck on the looking forward part. If you know me, and many of you do, not being optimistic about the future is a foreign and unwelcome concept. I haven't changed. I'm still proud of the progress made over the years with so many different mayors and councils and staff, commissioners and community leaders. I'm still a cheerleader for this chosen community, this hometown of my parents, the place of my sons and their cousins' childhood memories. So, you get to decide if heartbreaking divisiveness is stronger than 50 years of history, respect, truth, and belonging. You are this town. You are the stewards, and I'm here to help. Fountain Hills is vibrant. It is alive and exciting because of you. We can only achieve success and meet our community's needs by working together, recognizing each other's expertise and our strengths. Our residents deserve and expect no less from their elected leaders and the professional staff who support the town policies. Tribal and municipal governments and regional organizations, visitors and investors expect the best from us as well. And I know we're up to these tasks required to keep the state of the town vibrant and exciting and moving forward in a positive direction, and I know we will do it. I want to thank you again for coming. Thank you. Thanks again to our sponsor, SRP, Mountain View Kitchen, Bo Larson, Grady Miller, our esteemed guests, and all helped make the 2023 State of the Town a success. Before we go about the rest of our day, I like to always leave off with a lyric from a song. This one's Randy Newman, as sung by Bonnie Raitt. So anticipate this as you drive home again later tonight back to Fountain Hills. Feels like home to me. Feels like home to me. Feels like I'm on my way back where I belong, and indeed you do. Thank you so much.